Welcome or welcome back to the show. I'm Anna and you're watching Anna Speaks Out. Thanks for being here. So on Tuesday, October 3rd, 2023, for the first time in U.S. history, the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, former Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, was ousted from his position. Why, you might ask? Well, as far as I can understand from what I've read about it, and I had to go to BBC to find the best explanation that I've found so far, it was because he made a deal with some Democrats for a spending bill that would prevent the government from being shut down on October 1st, and it's apparently staying open for 45 days more since then. This spending bill included not funding Ukraine anymore, which to me seemed like a good thing. The government's going to be open and we don't have to give money to a foreign country with a government that seems pretty shady and had some pretty shady looking dealings with the Biden family. It also provided some aid for people who were victims of natural disasters, apparently. And it turns out that 8 rebel Republicans didn't like that for some reason. Even though, to me, that doesn't sound too different from the type of thing that's probably happened forever in politics. You know, the Republicans think that other Republicans are spending too much money. Is that really a reason to fire the Speaker of the House for the first time in history? Doesn't really seem to add up to me. But of course, all of American politics is pretty much just a clown show at this point. Check it out.
The Republican Party now thrown into chaos, deeply divided.
But Congressman Matt Gaetz blasted House Speaker Kevin McCarthy for working with Democrats. The Florida Republican accused the Speaker of reneging on a pledge to rein in spending.
Stop playing games.
Look, the one thing everybody has in common is that nobody trusts Kevin McCarthy.
I think Kevin McCarthy is a very weak speaker. He clearly has lost control of his caucus.
I'm sick and tired of the brinksmanship. And so are the American people.
You know, this is personal with Matt. He's more interested in securing TV interviews than doing something. He wanted to push us into a shutdown.
I've never quite seen a Republican Congress or any Congress act like this.
On this vote, the yeas are 216. The nays are 210. The resolution is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table. The office of Speaker of the House of the United States House of Representatives is hereby declared vacant.
Former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy was ousted for the first time in history
by 8 rebel Republicans,
led by Florida's Matt Gaetz.
Brett, good evening. Former President Trump says he'd accept a short-term role as Speaker.
A lot of people have been calling me about Speaker.
As the GOP looks for a unifier to lead the House. Unifier to lead the House.
Where do these people come from? Where do they come from? They go back home to mommy. They get punished when they get home. A Green New Deal, right? Green New Deal. I encourage it. I think it's really something that they should promote. Darling, is the wind blowing today? I'd like to watch television, darling.
There will be very few conservatives in the country who don't see that as a monumental upgrade.
Sleepy Joe and Crazy Bernie have a young man, boot edge. Boot edge. They say edge. He's got a great chance, doesn't he? He'll be great.
Unifier.
Crazy Elizabeth Warren, or as I affectionately call her, Pocahontas.
Unifier.
What's going on with Fox, by the way? What's going on there?
Kellyanne is great, but she's married to a total whack job. I think she must have done some number on him, Ainsley. I don't know what Kellyanne did to that guy.
If you're going to cough, please leave the room.
Get a shot of, and I'll come over here.
You just can't.
Just to change the shot.
Okay. House rules suggest that lawmakers not serve in leadership positions if they face a felony indictment.
Failing repeatedly again.
Democrats relish the potential chaos.
I dare them to keep him out. I will nominate him in the conference.
Donald Trump is good about inserting himself in any news cycle. It isn't going to aid House Republicans.
We'll do whatever is best for the country and for the Republican Party.
There's concern a new speaker doesn't fix the GOP's issue.
Failing repeatedly again.
This will hurt swing districts. Hopefully we can turn this around.
Whoever the next speaker is will have a lot on their plate, including avoiding yet another looming government shutdown now just weeks away.
We're told it could take the House weeks to elect a speaker if the body does not solve this fast.
Has anybody in the West Wing heard anybody talking about the possibility of Speaker Trump?
We don't care who is in the race or who is out the race. Who is in the race or who is out the race. Out the race. Out the race. That is not for us to figure out.
But there's a ton of concern among Republicans about going to the floor and failing repeatedly again like they did in January to elect a speaker. So the bottom line, we could be in for a very long week again next week on Capitol Hill.
Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed that. Hopefully it made you laugh. We definitely all need some comic relief in our lives every now and then. A cheerful heart is good medicine after all. But I do want to say something on more of a serious note for a minute or two here. For me, when I kind of zoom out on this whole situation and look at it from more of a bird's eye view, you could say, it looks to me that it could be both sides of the government working together in unison to basically plant the idea in people's minds that Republicans, conservatives, and especially the farthest right, most extreme MAGA Republicans are just complete jokes, you know, people who can't handle anything, people who should not be trusted or respected in any way. And what is it that people often associate Republicans and conservatives with? Whether it's always true or not, which I have the feeling that more often than not in politics it's not true, people associate Republicans and conservatives with Christianity, with being Christians, with representing Jesus Christ. So this whole thing, to me, creates the illusion in people's minds that Christians should be looked down upon, should be maybe even demeaned and stopped. This seems to me to be similar to the way that we've always been taught that Nazi Germany behaved. They convinced their people to believe that a whole other group of people were completely beneath them and barely even human. And Christians being singled out to be hated by the rest of the world is completely biblical, which is my main point here. Always remember Matthew 5:11-12. Blessed are you when they revile and persecute you and say all kinds of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so they persecuted the prophets who were before you. So I hope all of us who are followers of Jesus can really take that to heart. If you're on Instagram, please follow me at My Thoughts and Songs. And my website, where you can find my Patreon account and personal designs and my Teespring store, can be found in the top comment. Thank you again so much for being here today. Since you liked the video enough to make it all the way to the end, don't forget to click the thumbs up and share with somebody else who would also find it interesting. Thanks so much again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless.